I wish to live my life saying, I'm so glad I did it now, rather than I wish I did it when I could. Well, now is the time that I listened. Now is the time to do it. From Portland, Oregon to Colombo, Sri Lanka, I traveled a total of 27 hours, landing firmly in the unknown. While in the air, I contemplated my choices and what lie ahead of me. I knew no matter what, I was doing what I wanted to do for nearly 10 years now. Over parts of Europe, cutting across the Middle East, landing and taking off from Qatar, I made it to Sri Lanka. And wow, what an incredible few weeks of my life, discovering the frightening unknown world I stepped into, become a place like home. Greeted by the staff members at my program through the Mighty Roar, an organization that works all over the planet, aiding in conservation and community projects, hosting volunteers for weeks and months at a time, I immediately felt a sense of belonging. I had waited so many years to be here, and here I was, meeting new friends, puppies and newborn kittens, seeing beaches along the Indian Ocean, and releasing endangered sea turtle hatchlings all within my first day. A crazy long first day. Sea turtles are key species in maintaining the balance of oceanic ecosystems. The nesting mothers help control coastal erosion. They are necessary pieces of the intricate marine food webs, and their hatchlings' genders are determined by the heat of the sand and surrounding environment. The warmer the climate, the more females that are born, causing an imbalance in gender diversity. While only 1 in 1,000 hatchlings make it to adulthood, we sent these babies off with the hope maybe one of ours will be the ones to make it, the next generation of an ancient, beautiful species that will help the future of this planet. Fresh breakfast every morning became a time to make new friends and plan for the adventures of the day. From the juiciest watermelon to finally figuring out there is a toaster for our bread, those mornings are some of my favorite memories. We then went on our first full day in Sri Lanka to a local moonstone mine that still operates using traditional mining methods and also grows an abundance of Ceylon cinnamon for us to try. They use candlelight to determine how much oxygen is left inside of the mines, and they produce some of the most incredible blue Sri Lankan moonstones I've ever seen. We stopped for a freshly made lunch at the entrance to a jungle trail leading to a waterfall full of refreshing water and laughter. Listening to the sounds of the jungle put into perspective how loud the cities and towns I'm used to are. It pays off to listen. From there, we spent the evening exploring beaches at sunset, petting every stray dog that was willing to share their time, discovering frogs everywhere we walked, and learning new card games with new friends from all around the world. Anyone willing to play Irish Snap with me? Laundry was a learning curve, but a fun one. Plastic and trash cleanup was incredibly fulfilling, and as we stuffed the trash into water bottles to create eco-bricks that can be used for building and structures, I felt a deep sense of gratitude that we are helping, no matter how small our impact may be. If even one bit of plastic that we picked up never ends up in the ocean again, then our impact means something. Monitoring nesting turtles at night granted a new perspective, just as pulling out emerging babies in the heat of the sun to be released later that night was exhilarating. Seeing them alive and well and hoping that they will make it on their journey was inspiring for hope. Cuddling Freddie the kitten and spending time with Mamu viewing giant bats at dusk. Those bats, also known as Indian flying foxes, while they may look intimidating, are gentle and inspire the most peace while watching them fly. Don't mind the bridge, Mamu promised we'd make it. As our time volunteering came to an end, our home in Akarala felt exactly that. Monsoon storms that truly refresh the soul. Olive Ridley hatchlings that are rare to see but made it to the surface of the sand just in time. Holding tight the puppies that live amongst travelers. karaoke sessions, and sunsets shared with the travel family we created. Memories that will live in my mind for a lifetime, maybe more. That's what Akurala came to mean to me. On to Marissa and Wellagama, further south, where the marine life is worth jumping out of a moving boat for, many times, and the waves are simply too tempting not to try my hand at surfing. I learned 2 life lessons while in Marissa. When they say, go, 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 you jump into the ocean. And if you don't stand up the first time, keep trying. Once you do, every time you fell before becomes worth it. Here's those memories. Also, once you catch your first wave, no matter how small or large, this becomes incredibly addicting. Fair warning. After 2 days there, we set off for Utawalawai National Park, stopping first at an elephant transit home to witness the care and rehabilitation of orphaned Asian elephants. Conservation is much more than just viewing animals in the wild, but also the daily care of the injured or abandoned. As we ventured into the national park by jeep, I was blown away by the wildlife I was able to capture on my camera, something I've dreamed of since as long as I can remember. These are those moments that I truly cannot describe except for the photos and videos you will see. They hold a special place in my heart. From Utawalawai, it was time to weave our way through mountain roads to the cool, welcoming village town of Ella. Stopping at a roaring waterfall with mother and baby macaque monkeys sprinkled about, and vendors selling handmade postcards and jewelry, it was a sight to see. Locals, travelers, and wildlife coexisting on the edge of this rocky 2-lane road, overlooking a lush green valley below. Seeing the infant macaques being cared for so touchingly by their mothers reminded me of how often we overlook the emotions and empathy that wild animals truly do have. We were also amazed at buffalo being herded through the streets, traffic jams of a special Sri Lankan kind. Riding the beloved Ella train, where you can lean out the doors and feel the wind through your hair and your clothes, was a bucket list experience that I am so grateful to have checked off. Let me tell you, in 90+ Fahrenheit temperatures and 70+% humidity, you'll want to be leaning out the whole way, and it feels so freeing. I didn't expect or plan to go ziplining, but when the opportunity arose, I decided no better time to say yes than already being across the planet from everything I know. So soaring above the tree line it is, followed by hiking up Little Adams Peak to gain some true perspective. While both of these experiences had their risks and their strenuous activities involved, I'm so glad that I said yes when I could, and that looking back now, I'm grateful that I did. Another life lesson that I learned is when you have the chance, take it. Time to make the long journey to the second largest city in Sri Lanka, Kandy, not without stopping at a traditional tea plantation first, and then learning about Sri Lankan dance and fire performers up close and personal. Blown away by the talent and culture the Sri Lankan people have to offer and share with us is exactly how I felt. Then barefoot through Buddhist temples, one of which houses the most important Buddhist relic in the world, the Tooth of Buddha, and learning how traditional pigments are made in wood carving shops. Kandy was a place of growth and knowledge. Sigiriya Lion's Rock, where ancient ruins lie thousands of feet above, a rock face and metal stairs between you. Looking down at the path from which we had come was mind-boggling and really motivating for doing more than I believe I can. While it seemed incredibly daunting at the bottom, once at the top I knew I could do it all over again. Lions Rock taught me to believe in myself more, especially when it comes to climbing the biggest challenges. 1,200 steps was quite the challenge, to be honest. While the climb was exciting enough, spending time with the macaque monkeys was what drew me in. Who could guess? And wow, are they special to interact with and observe, both of which I could spend hours doing happily. They reminded me that the intelligence that we claim as our own is shared with so many species across the Earth, and we have to understand that we share this planet with them. Our future is their future, and vice versa. Taking care of the Earth around us, our only home, is also taking care of their home and their families and their futures. As we left for Negombo, I reminisced on the memories we'd made so far, and felt so at peace driving through the rain with our makeshift travel family. Although it was time to say goodbye to traveling Sri Lanka, and some of us were spending the next few days in the middle of the Indian Ocean. For this opportunity, I'm eternally grateful. There is nothing quite like seeing the sea shift colors as it was, flying above the Maldivian coast. Welcome to the Maldives! Arriving in a storm, I felt endless possibilities ahead of us, and despite only staying for a few days, I was so excited to make myself at home in this incredible country that is in the center of the most biodiverse oceanic ecosystem. Waking up to the brightest sun, with the help of our guides at Shadow Palm, who were spectacular at sharing their island and ocean home with us, I felt something within me shift. 10-year-old Paige knew this was the day I'd swim amongst wildlife I've dreamt of for a decade. From walking along sandbanks in the sea to gliding next to pods of dolphins and manta rays, befriending curious stingrays and gentle nurse sharks, the next few days were otherworldly. Although I may write a lot, it's hard to capture the essence of these oceanic experiences in mundane words, so I'll let the photos and videos speak for themselves.
At this moment, no one can tell where we should go. Oh, it's coming. We thought we had it, the truth about our common soul, that it was fantasy, nothing to put belief in. As soon as we saw the ocean, we knew what we had become, defying our own emotion, pretending land was our own. We couldn't embrace the notion that we were meant for something more, something beautiful, something beautiful. At this moment, it's time to tell where we should go. But how can I be sure? Can we change it? The truth about our common soul, to say we know it's real, something to put belief in. As soon as we saw the ocean, we knew what we had become, defying our own emotions, pretending land was our own. We couldn't embrace the notion that we were meant for something more, something beautiful, something beautiful. As soon as we saw the ocean, we knew what we had become, defying our own emotions, pretending land was our own. We couldn't embrace the notion that we were meant for something more, something beautiful, something beautiful.
My time in the Maldives is marked by friendly macaques, stray cat friends, the clearest blue water that I can still feel on my skin, and the wildlife I'd only ever seen on TV be within feet of me. A few short days later, our group departed the Maldives, hopeful we may see it again someday, and that it continues to be protected and preserved. And we hugged each other goodbye as Brooke and I continued on to a very special experience with a very special animal. Something I want to touch on is that the Maldives itself, the country and the islands, are not just resorts that tourists can come and use at their own expense. This is the home to so many incredible locals, and to the wildlife that is endangered and in need of our help. I'm so thankful for the people I got to meet and the experiences I had, with the opportunity that I said yes to. After a tearful goodbye, we spent the next day with Nona the Asian elephant, who was rescued from unethical tourism 15 years ago, and is bonded with her macaque keeper who looks after her day in and day out. Macaque keepers spend their entire lives with the elephants they care for, dedicating their time and energy to ensuring their lives are as comfortable as possible, considering the resources they have in countries such as Sri Lanka. The family of the elephant sanctuary brought us into their home, taught us how to cook the best dal I've ever had, and thanked us for seeing into their lives and supporting them. Learning to cook dal and make my own coconut milk, spending that time in the kitchen, is actually one of my favorite experiences while in Sri Lanka. The moment felt very meaningful, and I can still smell the curry and turmeric now. Bathing Nona in the nearby river afterwards is a feeling I can't quite explain in words, but was truly unforgettable. Asian elephants deserve protection and freedom, but when they are unable to be rehabilitated, they deserve the care that gives them beautiful, long lives. Another key piece of conservation that is often overlooked. These animals need homes too. And with some scones, the last drive together in our favorite bus with the best drivers, a goodbye and see you soon to Brooke, a rainbow to send me off on my journey, the final hugs to the animals that greeted me the day that I landed, and the people who made the unknown become a piece of my heart. I made my way to the airport I stepped foot out of just a few weeks before, with no idea what lay ahead of me, and I said, maybe till next time, to the country that has changed my life. Thank you, Sri Lanka, for everything.